So it was actually, I got on my right turn lane right here. Traffic was backed up in this lane, and a lady pulled out of her driveway right there. So she just pulled straight through traffic in my lane. And I guess you can't really tell, but
that's probably all
that
over.
yeah, well that kind of swerved to the right and just missed the telephone pole, but still hit her. Obviously, it wasn't my fault; it was her fault. But so we're gonna go to Dunkin' Donuts, get a coffee just because I had to wake up, and yeah, gonna meet the transport driver at 6 a.m. back at my house. Unload the car. Meet up with Joseph at 6 or shortly after, and get the LS2 out of his Jeep, get everything up into the garage, and kind of see what we got.
You got the time over there? I can't really zoom in.
I have the time right there, actually.
5:28, and it's 30 degrees outside.
Yeah, this is actually the start of what will be a, I'm going to say 2-month, maybe 3-month swap on a 2006 997 911 Carrera 4S. So we're doing LS2 into it. It's going to have a fast 102 intake on it. Owner bought one, got a good price on it. But pretty much it's going to be an LS2 bolted to a G9701 using an adapter plate in the car using my mounts. We kind of need to hack the car and find out what it wants, what it needs.
Do you drive this far to Dunkin' every day?
Yeah, not every day. I think at least probably every other day. This is the only good one. You know, you get into like a groove where,
yeah.
See, this is the weird thing about Dunkin' Donuts. So Starbucks, any Starbucks that you go to is consistent. I can go to a Starbucks in Delaware,
yeah,
Starbucks in Maryland, or Starbucks in PA and get a, I don't know, tall latte with 2% and sugar in the raw, and it always tastes the same. But with Dunkin' Donuts, you can go to a Dunkin' Donuts a city away in Parkville, and the coffee tastes completely different than it tastes at the Timonium Road Dunkin' Donuts across from Smith Coolers. But you know what? It's 5 in the morning, so who cares, right?
Damn,
I know, right? Look at that happen. Those are wired steel centers. Hey guys, my name is Tyler with Chavis Performance Engineering, and this is Joseph, and this is his 2006 997 911 C4S.
From D. Patrick Motorplex in Indiana. You know, I fell in love with Porsches after going on Facebook and seeing Tyler's Porsche swapped with a V8. I just fell in love with it and couldn't stop doing research on it. We finally connected on Facebook, right? Yep. Messaged each other back and forth. You actually posted I think a template of your
the swap kit.
Of the swap kit, and I emailed you. It was like, you know, are you looking to sell your swap kit?
Yep.
And then we were just going back and forth, and then there was a point where I was like, dude, can you just build my car for me?
Yeah, and that's honestly, I guess maybe like another week or two, I guess.
Yeah.
Of Facebook messages, and he actually, believe it or not, he had a C4S roller.
Yep.
That wasn't this car. He just didn't have a title for it. Just a couple other things that no interior.
Yeah. It needed a lot of work. Tyler and I decided to scrap that project, right?
Yep.
I ended up selling the branded title salvage car. I was always into the RX-7s, the 350Zs. What I'm into now is being uncommon, and that's what I saw in Tyler's car. It's just so uncommon. You have a Porsche, the Porsche body, which is beautiful, and then you have American muscle, which is reliable. So that's the reason why that gravitated me towards this type of build.
Honestly, I just really appreciate the opportunity that you're letting me work on your car, and let me swap it for you. It's my car alone was a great learning experience, but the fact is, and the truth is, I'll be able to make your car 10 times better. Simply because at this point I know exactly what needs to be done, and the biggest thing was how much of my body I actually cut away when we did the swap. And I hate saying that, but there was a lot of metal that we unnecessarily cut out. And with his, I know exactly where to cut. So it's literally going to be a OEM-esque, a tight, well-rounded, good swap.
And the thing is, I've built cars, not the Porsche platform, but the RX-7s, 350Zs in the past, and I know exactly what you're talking about. When you first build it, you're going to make, not mistakes, but you're not going to do things exactly the way you want it to go. So, and that's another reason why I wanted you to do it. Because I know you already made,
all the
trials and errors, and now it should be, like you said, 10 times better.
Yeah, and the thing is, and I think anybody can agree with this, whenever you swap a car, you never get the car on the road 100%.
Yeah.
So for the next, I don't know, in some cases, with my S2000, it was only a couple weeks, but some people will spend a year driving a car that's not 100%. They'll say, man, I really got to hook up my tach, or I really got to hook up this sensor, or, the check engine light. But, now, we have everything to, I guess, so much a streamlined process.
Yeah.
So, you'll be literally leaving here the day of with the working cell, with the working tach. All your gauges will be functional. And, the fact is that you could literally let the car idle when you drive it for 45 minutes in the morning as you get ready for work or whatever. And you won't have a second thought about, is it going to overheat?
Yep.
You know what I mean? Is my coolant gauge working how it should? It's all that really make a swap that just that much better. And you want an OEM like finish.
No, and that's, listen, I'm a little older now. I got 2 kids, and it's a 4-seater. That's another reason why I went with this platform. But the last thing I want is to drive down to the beach with the family in the car and for something to happen.
Yeah,
right? So,
exactly. And I can guarantee you, if anything does happen, it's not going to be LS related. It's going to be a radiator that just went on this or something like that.
The car was supposed to get here, Friday?
Yeah, it would have been,
Friday evening, right?
Yes.
Or mid-Friday, and then I got a call from the transporter saying that because of the snowstorm, they had to delay it. Mm-hmm. So it ended up getting here at, 6:30 in the morning.
Yeah, 6:30 a.m.
I ended up leaving from New Jersey at 2:30 in the morning. It took me about 2.5, 3 hours to get here. Sent Tyler a message when I got here around 5:30.
Yep.
You're actually up, and you sent me a message at like 5:11.
Getting coffee.
Going to get coffee. We chatted for, about 45 minutes before the 9/11 came.
Joe, we've been planning this for, I guess at this point, this specific drop-off, we've been planning for the past week, maybe a week and a half.
Yeah.
And, initially, the car was going to get picked up, I think it was going to get picked up Thursday with a drop-off on Friday. So we actually both took off work on Friday.
Yeah.
So then it was, hey, they're going to be here 11 p.m. Saturday night. And then it got switched to, hey, they're going to be here, 6 a.m. Sunday. And obviously, it was neither, Joseph nor I's fault. It was just, when you deal with transport companies, they're just, it's really, you're at their mercy.
I'll tell you though, the one thing I appreciate about you was the flexibility that you provided to me, because I was messaging you like last minute, hey Tyler, it's gonna be 11 p.m. tonight. You're like, dude, that's cool, that's fine. And then I sent them another text message 5 minutes later, it's gonna be 6 o'clock in the morning. Can you wake up that early? He's like, dude, that's fine. So this guy, already I knew this is the guy that's gonna work on my car.
Yeah, so the car is here, and it's a clean car.
Yeah,
it's none of the stuff that you would think. You know what I mean? It's clean. Obviously we knew what was going on with the engine. But I mean, no surprises, and I mean, it's going to be a great canvas.
Now, can you tell me like what kit's going to be used in my car specifically? Because I know I told you I did a lot of research into like the Renegade kits and stuff like that.
Yeah. We're going to use the Chavis Performance Engineering, or CPE, mount kit. So what that will be is that's going to be billet engine plates or billet motor plates. That's a really popular way to mount these engines, as it kind of gives you a little bit additional clearance down below with the headers, and especially in our case, everything kind of wrapping around towards the front of the engine.
Yeah.
So we'll be using our mounts, our sway bar relocation brackets, cooling pipes. The harness will actually be a Wiring Specialties harness. I send them pretty much the stock Porsche harness as a core. We'll be actually using our own adapter plate. That would take an OEM starter. At that point, the flywheel is offset slightly, and it uses a non-S clutch kit specifically because the S is self-adjusting.
Is there going to be anything different because my car's all-wheel drive? Do you have to do anything different as far as...
No, and that's actually the beauty. So the all-wheel drive system on these cars is actually controlled by the Porsche body control module, or BCM.
Okay.
The way that the all-wheel drive system is set up in terms of the front axle and how it bolts to the transmission is actually an output flange on the front of the trans. So all we need to do is literally just unbolt that when we're removing the trans, and then just simply bolt it back up to the trans. Literally the whole all-wheel drive system wouldn't even be touched.
So it'll be ready for, what, the snow?
Yeah, it's going to be ready for the snow. Maybe we'll do some perfect donuts.
And the last thing I want to do is push you to finish my car right away, but what do you think the timeline is, realistically?
When can you get your car back?
Yeah.
So I'm going to say, but I would say probably late January. I think that would be, that's probably a little faster, but I mean...
That's really fast, actually.
I would say, late January, let's just say early February. But I think that, obviously you'll get progress and updates, and we'll be posting on YouTube, and you'll have, forum, and you'll have different channels that you can just check things out, almost like you'd be here.
And that's the other thing, too. I mean, build threads.
There
aren't that many well-documented build threads. And I think for me to be able to be a part of this was another reason why I chose you to build this car. So I'm definitely super excited. How many total hours do you think you're going to be spending building this thing?
I mean, it's going to be over 100.
Yeah,
it's just it's all the idiosyncrasies of doing a swap like this. And I mean, granted, mine's an 08, yours is an 06, same chassis.
Yeah.
But there could be slight variations in the can. I'm not really sure, but nothing that we can't figure out, which is the biggest part.
What do you think is going to be the biggest roadblock, or if any?
I want to do the tack with a trigger wheel.
Okay.
Just because I want, obviously there's a can module that you can use to run your tack, and you can use it to do your engine lights and all your codes and blah blah blah. But if that goes or that fails, pretty much your whole cluster, I mean, everything would shut down because it's all on can, right?
Yeah.
So what I'd like to do is have all the sensors. I want all the sensors to be, hardware, manual, analog, if that makes sense. So I want to actually run your tack, not with CAN, which is what we were testing the other day, but I actually want to run it with a trigger wheel. And that's really not a roadblock. It's just going to be some slight R&D on actually making the bracket to hold the CPS.
Okay.
That's really it. And that's just because that's something I didn't do on my car that I want to do on my car.
If I want to drop my engine, though, how do I disconnect the wiring and stuff like that? Do I do it just from the engine?
There's literally going to be one plug. And you'll untake that one plug, and the harness will go just like the factory.
That's quick.
So it's really, I did this all with serviceability and feasibility in mind. So
your car now is complete, right?
Yes.
And that's what I want my car to be like.
Yeah.
So what's that? How's that look like with my car as far as like?
So pretty much, the first things first, we're going to take out the engine. Okay. I'll have my friend Igor stop by. He owns GT Performance in Edgewood, Maryland. And that is a Porsche race shop and service shop specializing in air-cooled and water-cooled 911s. So once your engine's out, at that point, we'll send your stock harness out to Wiring Specialties and let them do their magic to it. And then once that's done, they'll literally just send us back a harness with your Porsche connectors on it. Okay.
Awesome.
So once that's done, or while we wait for them, I'm going to go ahead and get your chassis ready.
Okay.
So pretty much we will modify your coolant pipe. We'll cut out, any sheet metal that would interfere with your engine actually going up inside the body of the car.
Okay. As far as like documenting, are you going to be videotaping some of the process of what you're doing?
We'll be videotaping, we'll be taking pictures,
awesome.
Because ultimately what I'd like to do is offer, a guide on how to swap this car.
Yeah.
But, you know, while we're getting everything ready in terms of, you know, chassis preparation, we'll go ahead and we'll get the adapter plate made. And, you know, at that point, your transmission, your engine will all be bolted together, will be one. And then it's just a matter of literally lifting it into the car and, you know, putting the mounts in place and having it suspended, you know, by itself.
That's awesome. And the weight of the car is going to stay the same as far as like with the old engine, the new engine?
The LS engine, wet for wet, 5 pounds heavier than an N96 or an N97.
Which is nothing.
It's nothing. And you'll also be staying relatively, everyone says that, you know, you're raising the center of gravity.
Yeah.
Now, I understand it's a V configuration versus a horizontal, but at the same time, you're pretty much staying, your intake manifold won't be sitting any higher than the Porsche intake manifold.
How you doing? My name is Joseph Holly. I'm here in CP's garage. Came down here early this morning. We just took delivery of this 2006 Carrera 4S, and I'm gonna have Tyler work on it for me. I've built cars in the past, 240s, RX-7s, MR2s. 911s are new to me. You have Tyler's Porsche here, and you have the Porsche I just picked up. Hopefully it's gonna end up like this with an LS swap in it. Tyler's telling me it should be done by the end of January, early February. So you guys should follow us on this journey. It's gonna be awesome.